Yep. Yeah,
Go on
that's
that
true.
roll, Bright. Go on that roll.
Are you back then fully, Coffee
Yes,
Cat
I'm good.
slash Mordecai? Okay. Well then, hello everyone. I hope that you're refreshed, and as you can see, our group was having a conversation. The night has passed. Seltur. I mean, you could have had vivid dreams, or I'll let you really fill that in. But you were definitely in an altered mind state last night.
Oh
So
I
yes,
got really, really high.
um, what do you mean was?
before we
Good
begin this
stuff.
day in earnest, because you will be taken back up to Commander Lily's airship, is there
I'm
any other
keeping the
quick
wine.
resolution at night that you wanted to do, or can we just open up here?
Well, like I
The
said, I'm
only thing
keeping the
is,
wine glass.
Mordecai is just spending some time actually legitimately praying this time.
Okay.
And Selene will be giving him tips on how, because she's she's all about that praying life.
Selter, for the wine
Honey.
glass, I will need some kind of maybe some kind of deception, as your effects will be gathered, and they'll notice that one of the glasses is missing, and so you and or the others will have to account for why or how there's a wine glass that's
Why
not with
should I
them.
do that? It's a pretty wine glass, and all I'm trying to end up doing is I'm asking for perpetual refreshments. I'm lizard folk again, right? I end up dehydrating quickly in here, and least you'd want me to do is start suffering heat stroke and delirium.
Okay, so you want to produce it and say that I want to keep this on me because
I'm persuasion.
Oh, oh.
um okay in you have the wine class. They'll ask they'll ask you about the whereabouts. You have it, and you say that you want to keep it to have refreshment. Um,
The sun does not do well for my particular condition. I'm sure Mordecai can end up sympathizing with that.
The sun is definitely terrible here in the desert.
And that's
then
not even a lie. That's not even a lie. She's a black dragonborn. The desert is not where they're meant to be. They
uh,
need wet.
then what the soldier will do is ask for the glass, and as he escorts you to the ship, because he tells you that he's going to take you to Commander Lily's ship, he will give the glass to her, and you can talk to the commander about it. But he has his orders that he needs to collect your all's things. I mean, not your clothes or whatever. I mean, like the the wine, the the tent, the lanterns, that sort of stuff. Oop, am I am I live?
No, you've already made a call, so we're moving on.
Okay. So the things are brought back aboard, and you are on the deck of the ship, and the ship takes off, and it's hovering about 200 feet above the desert sands, and once more, Commander Lily comes out, and she sets up a chair, and she has the doctor, and she has her spellcaster that was there yesterday, with her, and and
How's my fear of heights?
um well, you drank from Selene last night. You're I'm sure you're aware you have a concern of it. Is it you're not under a frightened condition? You do feel bolstered. I mean, you feel a little bit more bold. You feel stronger. You're definitely physically stronger. Your mind perhaps isn't feeling cloudy because you did get this rejuvenation.
Fair enough.
But how you want to role play that, I'm going to leave up to you though, Coffee.
No, I'm assuming I'm scared position.
So the commander comes out and she has the wine. She has the wine glass, as your escort had told you, and so she sits down and holds it in her hand. There's nothing in it, but she gives it a bit of a swirl. I see that we are a very, very thirsty girl, Seltur. Remember, she accents your name. I can appreciate a good healthy thirst. From what our research understands about your people, certain ones require certain environments, and this one is probably very hostile to you. How are you feeling, Seltur? Did you enjoy the gift last night? I'm sorry.
Why, of course. Why would I end up refusing the host's hospitality? Unlike others, I have an appreciation for the finer things. And when the opportunity shows up, I'd much rather end up taken. After all, you only live once. The rest of it is screaming.
Ah, how true. It would seem that our people are not too far apart. And so, my dear Seltur, for as thirsty as you are, if you would be so kind to step forward, I would happily give you this glass back. I wouldn't want my guest to be injured on this trip.
No, I suppose not. Well, I appreciate such. She steps up and reaches for it. She just does so nonchalantly.
Make an insight as you're reaching forward for the wine cup. Seltur, you are getting she's making eye contact with you, and no, I mean you are definitely giving your coy demeanor, and you see that in Lily's eyes there is a bit of a twinkle. We're not talking like the stars last night when you were enjoying your senses sort of opening up, but this is more of a professional recognition that she is giving you, and she is letting you know with her as she places the very fine cup in your hands, very expertly at that. She's giving you not a wink, but a recognition.
Much appreciated, Commander Willie.
Ah, why thank you for addressing me properly. You truly are an amazing lady, Seltur.
It's a natural talent, I assure you. And I know that I am amazing. I'd like to end up taking that to end up, well, bluntly, allow me to forego the formalities and get straight to the point. You're very busy. I'm curious on, as I still have some unfinished business and some time to kill. We are looking for passage to Mesomasca. Now, that being said, I can't help but notice that this airship is in patrol. But I'm under the impression that right now heading towards Mesomaska seems to be the Empire's current, or if not simplified, goal. And I'm kind of curious, will this ship be approaching there anytime soon? Or perhaps maybe we can find more useful places to find ourselves, to find mutually conductive goals in that regard.
I am afraid that I cannot tell you of the details of our dispatchment. However,
Of course not.
I can inform you that once I receive my orders, then you will be addressed appropriately. And no matter what the outcome of the orders are, I will have the courtesy of informing you about what will end up happening. As I have not yet received them, you are still my guests aboard my ship, and we are in a patrol route, as you have noticed, so keenly, my friend, holding a position in the desert of Asrandia. However, beyond that, I am afraid that I cannot tell you much more. You will be informed, however, almost as quickly as I would be.
That will be amusing. Off
Do
the...
you expect to hear back soon?
Go ahead.
Do you expect to hear back soon?
I will be told what to do when I'm told what to do. Of course, I would like my orders sooner than later, as I am not one to just wait around. But what can you do? Sometimes you're put into a position that you don't fully appreciate, but you have to make do with what is at hand. And she kind of, she sweeps her hand at the three of you, but then continues in a more broad, in a broader circle, kind of spinning her hand upward, more for everything. So it started with you three, it stopped for a second, and then the hand kind of continued to all around her.
Well, that may be, Commander Willie, but, well, you said we're not so different, so perhaps if I might share something with you. In my particular lines, initiative is more than anything important. Yes, the ability to obey orders is paramount, but those who are capable of positioning themselves, well, you currently have two individuals who are very familiar with Mesomaska, and you have a third party who has the knowledge basis to be able to end up assisting you in further outside endeavors.
I am a native after all.
You have one who is in your debt to be able to end up continuing on, and it seems like you have a very fine selection of bodies here. And because you're carrying two ships and roughly about, let's ballpark it and say 100 troops, what would that make it? Maybe 50 a ship, making this capacity, including provisions for long-term trips. Given the fact you are out in the desert, you are probably fairly far away from resupply. So it would appear to me that you have everything you need to make the trip. You're simply waiting for somebody else to end up pulling the trigger, and if I might say, lady, waiting doesn't look like it suits you either.
Waiting does not suit me, and you are correct. Initiative counts for a lot. There are things that I've been trained to do in my military career, and hovering above the sands of some God's forsaken desert isn't necessarily one of them. However, I would not be the woman, the commander I am today if I did not have patience and respect orders. And there must be an order to all things.
Yes, but the one who ends up making the orders is the one who ended up taking the initiative first. The person who's above you was quicker to take initiative than their counterparts. And patience, while a virtue, is also something that can name you. Let us be honest here. A sword drawn second leads to a dead swordsman.
Very much. But I will not draw my sword unless it becomes very, very necessary.
Well, nevertheless, you end up saying you're waiting on orders, and I don't exactly see a pigeon finding you out here.
She kind of giggles and just gives a little bit of a this seems to be authentic, like that seemed to authentically tickle her, and she goes back to herself and goes back to, I'm sorry, looking at you, Seltur.
So if I had to make any assumptions, because at this point I don't think I've been making many, but if I had to make an assumption, that's what he's here for. She kind of gestures to the caster as my cat knocks some stuff over.
Ah, yes, it's one of those nights. Yeah, I discovered what my other one knocked out earlier, and it was an empty bottle. Fortunately, it didn't break or anything, but it had rolled off of a somewhat high place, and it just made a clatter. Anyway, I'm sorry.
To the spellcaster when she ends up saying that's what he's here for.
He's here under orders, just like me. We all have our role to play. And I
Yes.
believe that you have probably seen more of his capabilities than even mine. Well, maybe not, Seltur. I would like to think that perhaps you and I aren't so different.
No, I don't suppose so. At this point, Seltur kind of smells the wine glass and... You see, myself, there's, I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little froggish right now. I feel the need to jump in more ways than one. She kind of looks to the ledge and then looks back at the commander. And right now, waiting is not going to end up cutting it. No, not for us. And we're kind of caught in this wonderful catch-22. We have this wonderful bit of company who is been so hospitable, and we want to be able to end up making sure everything becomes pleasant. But there's also the fact that, well, Rolling Stones gather no moss. And, honey, your hair, she kind of gestures, looks to be getting a little frazzled in this heat.
The price we pay for our duties.
So, when it comes down to your duties, I'll have to wonder, does Mazamaska benefit more from you being here or there? As I'm not gonna lie to you, honey. Out here in the desert, I really don't see much benefit to the whole of the Empire. But it definitely benefits Mazamaska from you staying out here.
As you're speaking, and for Selene and Mordecai, doing what you're doing, with the exchange between Seltur and Commander Lily, the caster made some hand gestures, and nothing apparently happened. It's not like a bunch of sparks flew out, or there's a loud crack-a-boom or anything.
I want an insight check to see if I can figure out what he's casting.
Go ahead. Well, not necessarily. Well, insight might tell you an intention. Insight won't really tell you a spell. So if you want to go insight, you can.
Arcana.
I can Arcana.
Arcana will probably give you more of a direct clue.
Well, if you Arcana, I'll Insight.
Sure.
Alright.
Oh no.
So that's
Oh yeah!
So that's a 4 Arcana.
He's about to cast Fireball!
And Selene, so Mordecai, maybe, I don't know, maybe Shadahar magic is just, it's too different, it's too foreign.
That's too foreign.
or you caught a little bit of a sun ray in your eyeball, and while you are bolstered by Selene's blood, you know, you have a little bit of whatever, like an after image in your eyes or something, and it's not really helping to reveal any sort of mystical intent. Though for an emotional intent, Selene, given the timing of the situation, and you know, you're thinking back to presumably what had happened the prior day, the intention was this same kind of calculating, guess, and especially it's confirmed as he bends forward and he covers his mouth, and he is talking to, he says something to the commander, who is still looking at Seltur in the eyes, but she does kind of cock her head to the side a little bit and listens and gives a nod. And so Seltur, you're getting this kind of a curiosity, an experimentation, is trying to figure something out, and then to come back around to Seltur here, who is having this conversation. Seltur, you get that kind of you get that crawling feeling under your scales again, where you were bitten, and it's kind of wiggling around for a little bit, and then it dies down.
Is it particularly unpleasant? Like this whatever this is, it seems to react very negatively to this conversation.
You can make either an investigation or an insight while you're having this conversation. This will be straight up.
Nope.
It happened. So it happened while you were talking, but it didn't happen while you started talking. It just started to itch as you reached the point in the conversation where we were at. And then Lily had she stopped talking because she kind of cocked her head to the side, was listening to the whisper, and then she is going to go back to talking with you again.
How wonderful.
I see you're picking up on the local dialogue. You know, the subtleties of our northern common, maybe many make fun of, but I'll tell you it's a true mark of intelligence when you can discern the L's and the R's as we can in our language, for we have them. It's just that their pronunciation has different effects.
Well, as you can imagine, it's impeded with the lack of lips. There's only so much that the tongue can emulate.
It's true, and I applaud you for that. Because Seltur, you see I can pronounce them. You are a fascinating woman. You are, by many, to be grotesque. And yet, in some ways, I find you strangely fascinating. It's like... perhaps I can't describe it right now. But please don't take that word, grotesque, as an insult. It perhaps makes you even more stunning in your own fashion. And she, like, her eyes narrow, and she actually leans forward a little bit as she says that. And there's no insight needed, but she's definitely been examining you, Seltur, but not in a lustful way. She's been taking measure of you up and down. You can see like just the slight eye shifts back and forth as she's regarding your forward pointing horns. You know, as she and also too, it's not just the things that seem to be overtly threatening. I mean, if we take a look at Seltur, you know, Seltur has these eyes of intelligence. She has, you know, she's just not a mad beast. she has this focus, right? She has these. Are they purple eyes? Is that correct?
That would be correct.
And so she seems to be drawn to them because of the way that your appearance is held in opposition to what she sees in your eyes, because she is watching your eyes as you are either watching her or if they flick to the side or not, but she seems to be very keenly observant of you.
Honey, right now I'm looking to my dear friends here, Mordecai and Selene. She struggles with saying Selene's name proper. And they, well, you have a keen interest in Mordecai. You want to end up keeping him good, healthy, and well fed. I applaud you. And that is a shared interest that Selene has. And in doing so, you have a little bit of leverage here that you can use to end up gaining. After all, a woman who ends up praying as often as she does can definitely end up aiding your crew. And it's very clear that you have your own designs for Mordecai. Which means that I feel like the odd woman out. I haven't gotten an opportunity to really let you know what I can do. And I feel like I might have slighted you in that way. But that's neither here nor there. Ultimately, if this conversation says we can't get to Mesamaska, we're gonna have to end up finding another route. And leaving you would be such sweet sorrow.
I hope that should we depart, Seltur, it is done on the best of terms, and that nothing that would happen would be taken personally by either of us.
I certainly hope not. Now, that being said, you just ended up getting a message just now, which really did get your attention. You did say that we would know as soon as you did. So, why don't you share with the class?
I did, in fact, receive some information, though they are not orders. Unfortunately, then, I cannot give you an armed escort to Mesamaska. She's going to stand up now, and Selene and Mordecai, the commander's going to be walking towards the deck with the doctor and this caster of some kind towards the two of you. Although, in its own way, there's an interesting parody going on where we have some sort of a combatant, a doctor, and a caster, and a combatant and a doctor and a caster both on deck. I am very willing to share this information, as it would appear that after some observation of you all, you yourselves aren't even aware of what is happening with yourselves, which is all the more curiouser, and even more of a reason why I want to find answers, and perhaps ones that would even benefit you.
I'm listening.
Selene, would you please be so kind as to present yourself to the doctor? Not for another blood sample, as I don't believe you can afford too many of those. Not in a row. But there's perhaps something that we didn't see upon picking you up and helping you regain your modesty.
Selene kind of steps forward with a confused look on her face.
The Commander Lily looks over to any of the other deckhands and orders them to turn around. And it's her, the doctor, and the mage who are standing by you. I would ask you to please disrobe as the doctor needs to examine you. There seems to be something amiss, something not normal about you.
It's like, okay, and she'd take off her clothes. Although hesitantly.
Ah, the tattoo. If I have earned such an honor, and she'll try and pronounce her name, Selene, I would love to hear more about the design. The doctor is going over you, and he's treating you with a clinical detachment. I mean, you're there. You're up above, so it's not like you're getting cat calls from the ground or anything. The wind's kind of passing through, and the sun's beating down on you here. The doctor says, "Here, Commander, it would appear that there's perhaps the source of this disruption is here." And he places his fingers on your neck. Does this hurt, Selene? He tries to pronounce your name.
It's like, no, it doesn't hurt. Yeah. To be fair, I don't know what that is either. So it kind of is just there.
With a nod to this caster figure, he waves his the caster waves his hands again, and as the doctor's keeping 2 fingers on your neck, you can feel, again, it's like something just underneath your skin that begins to kind of writhe and wiggle. And apparently he can feel it too, because there's actually a moment of surprise where he takes a half step back and his eyes open up, as if it's like he felt this wiggle underneath your skin as well. What?
You feel something under there, don't you?
Yes. Fascinating.
Oh,
and you
of course
don't
do.
know where this mark came from.
No. No clue. Seems like the mage over there has something that he wants to say. Go on, speak up. If you know what it is, then I would suggest, letting all of us know. Because, I would be the last person who wants things crawling under my skin.
The caster does step forward and for the first time speaks, though there does not seem to be a hint of the normal accent. He's either trying, or I don't know, maybe he's not from there or whatever, because they have annexed regions around the main empire itself. I, at this time, cannot hazard a guess. However, I'm sure that with Commander Lily's permission, the doctor would be willing to perhaps perform a surgery to remove that mark from you, if you don't want it any further. That might answer a lot of questions amongst both our groups.
Well, before we, do anything, give me a moment. That's the one. Just need to have a look at its attributes to see if I can do that. Yes. He's like, right. Well, before we do that, there's something that I can do to have a look at and see if something is under there. Maybe I might be able to actually detect, at the very least, what kind of type it is. And, what I'm going to proceed to do is I'm going to cast Detect Evil and Good, because it doesn't require any material components.
For the duration, you know if there's an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of you, as well as where the creature is located. Similarly, you know if there's a place or object within 30 feet of you. It's been magically consecrated or desecrated. If the spell can penetrate most barriers, but it is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt. Okay, so as you say, I would like to do something to try and determine this, and you also did answer the question that you are a caster. Commander Lily is willing to let you cast. I mean, she gives you a nod and kind of a gesture forward to go ahead. You perform your verbal and somatic components for detect evil and good. You detect an undead.
Mordecai,
you detect a fae.
Myself, probably.
Yes, the fae is local to you. The undead is about like 5 or 10 feet away from you.
Yeah, in Mordecai, yeah.
And there are 3 aberrations that you're detecting. One is local to you, another one is similarly about 10 feet away, and the third is also about 10 feet away in the direction of Seltur. You are also detecting within this 30 feet burst around you that there is an area of the ship that has been consecrated.
She's like, right. She turns to the caster and she says, the thing that there are 3 of these things. One resides in me, one resides in Seltur, and one resides in Mordecai. They are aberrant in nature.
Perhaps then that is what is causing the effects that you are not seeing, says the caster. Commander,
Like,
I would ask that we have these things removed. While this is going on, Mordecai, give me an investigation straight up.
Straight up, you said?
Yep.
16.
So you've been sitting back. I mean, you've been rather either pensive or passive in this regard, observant. I mean, Seltur has been having this conversation. Maybe you're picking up things from Seltur and or Lily as she's been prompted. Selene was getting this examination. Now make an Arcana at advantage. This is going to be sort of a 2-step process.
16.
Ah, so not a 4. Okay. The 16 investigation and 16 Arcana. With a mage that wasn't producing any kind of, nothing that seemed physically manifesting. He wasn't launching force bolts at people. He wasn't setting things on fire. This was a very discreet magic. And if Selene wasn't BSing everyone, because, if she cast a spell, it's, unless Selene, you sparkle or something when you cast, and that's fine if you do. Selene was able to cast a spell that gave her some sort of self-insight. She was able to, identify aspects of you. And so you're filtering through your mind. What is going on? This isn't some sort of, an evocation. Now, whether that's as a school, like if it's formal knowledge, or we're just using the terms as players and as a DM here. This was very subtle magic. It was magic that didn't necessarily manifest, but also there was another type of magic that was apparently able to occur. And it hits you, especially if they weren't bluffing with an illusion or something else about the zone of truth. If they weren't bluffing about perhaps some other instances that you've now observed yesterday and today. it would seem that they have tried to use some kind of mind magic. And that mind magic, whether it's manipulation or it's trying to read thoughts or it's trying to do something, has been baffled. And they are not able to get results from you from trying to tickle your brains magically.
Okay.
And so that you're internalizing this, and we'll go back. Seltur, you're there observing, and Selene, we'll say that we're picking up with the doctor looking and saying, if it is a thing, perhaps a mild sedative and a quick incision could perhaps remove this thing from your neck. I can perhaps 10 minutes, and he looks over at the commander. 10 minutes is all I would need, I bet.
10 minutes, that's a little slow.
It's also not very painful. It's...
Slow? I prefer thorough, says the doctor.
True. However, if I might end up being so crude as to suggest that if... Now, Selene, you earlier said that you had a doctorate, is that not correct?
That is true.
And right now, as a licensed physician, you would also care to observe this, yes?
Quite.
And you've always wanted to end up putting a knife into my throat, yes, from day one, yes?
No, not so much
Don't
putting a
lie
knife
to me,
into
honey.
your throat. No.
Honey, you're relishing the opportunity. So let's make your wish come true. I'm your own personal genie.
Now, Seltur, I wouldn't want to put a knife into your throat. You make me want to bash you over the head with the pommel of a longsword, yes. A knife to your throat? No.
Commander Lily stands up. Now, be civil.
Oh no, that is civil. I am just expressing what I have desired to do because Seltur likes to pick on me, but I would not do it.
Yes,
Pick on
I
you, honey.
believe removing these things is going to be the way forward. Now, Selene, if you want to remove the mark from Seltur, you may do so. And our doctor can observe if you think that you can do better. However,
I would
Mordecai...
like for both physicians to end up doing so, and the reason being is that many hands make light work. You said 10 minutes. I have no doubt that it can be done in 5 with the aid of Selene. This also means that a person who actually can heal themselves over time can end up doing so in a natural state, which might end up providing points of observation, which may end up adding for further interest and, more importantly, research. And I believe that Selene would like to end up knowing exactly what she's getting into before she ends up making a decision. And Mordecai right now has further complications to that same arrangement. So it seems to me that the most obvious way to move forward in developing this situation of trust with, sharp implements being forced into one's flesh around very vital areas, that I'm the natural person to do so. So, let's not hesitate any further, and Seltur just starts walking, like as if she's supposed to, towards the quarters where the doctor earlier escorted themselves out.
All right. As you're sauntering towards there, and there's going to be a couple guards. Ma'am, we don't have permission to let you in here yet.
Look, I'm about to have a knife to my throat, honey, and I want this thing out of me as quickly as possible. Selene, are you coming? Mordecai, you want us to watch the show?
Selene's just like,
I'm coming.
right, well, she wants it out, let's get it out. Either way, you get what you want, right, Commander Willie?
Perhaps. I don't know what's there. This could be absolutely wonderful for all people involved, and we can get some answers. Or, for all I know, it could kill you, and that would be a shame.
I'm hoping for tears, personally.
However, we are not going to be performing
If-
such a thing aboard this ship. It's far too unstable in the air.
Well, if you want to land, that's up to you.
It is. And we will.
Right, well, do it and I'll get ready, I guess.
Oh, you're gonna look so good in medical scrubs. I love a woman in uniform.
The commander, the doctor, and the caster excuse themselves and go down below decks, telling the three of you to remain on deck until you are escorted off the ship, as they need to talk and do some consultation. And so for right now, it's the three of you. I mean, there's guards. There are guards still, but
How far away are the guards?
in this
shot at the
representation, they're maybe 30-ish feet back, more here. I mean, they're giving you the prow of the boat. So I mean, you can walk around here, but if we're talking about like getting back to, you know, portholes or doors or an access deck or something, there's kind of a wall that is along this line. There's a couple different people who are guarding you here.
I'm just gonna pull everybody close and kind of explain to them. They've tried to detect thoughts on us or something.
It's like, yeah, no, they're most likely trying to read our minds and see what we're thinking and what kind of information they can find. And as soon as they get that, they're most likely going to throw us to the curb because then we then become disposable. Except for you. You, they want to keep. Us.
I don't know that I've ever been subject to like a thought detecting spell of any kind, but
I've seen it done enough.
Honey, you're easy enough to read. You are an open book to almost everybody you wander across. A detect the thought spell, as you end up saying it, is mostly just a wasted effort.
It's like, yes, you're very funny, Seltur.
Oh, it's not funny. It's fact.
but if their efforts are being balked, we don't want to do anything that keeps them from getting into your thoughts.
Well, now you have the test subject. Besides, if you're gonna do that, and I'm gonna bleed a fair amount, Selene, do me a favor, fill the cup with myself, and offer it to Mordecai, if only on the fact that I am not about to end up wasting any part of myself on a goddamn slab when I'm trusting you to end up putting my life in your hands.
Yeah, well, I haven't killed anyone on the table, so...
Well, there's always a first time for everything. Just don't...
Like,
The
I
aim
mean,
isn't to kill you, Seltur.
I mean, you know, if you did die, I would be able to bring you back if they wanted to provide me a 300 gold piece worth of diamond.
I mean, kind of requesting that on the in amongst your implements, just in case, might be a good idea.
Yeah, no, keep it in mind.
If you'd be kind enough, maybe see if you can smuggle me in something a little sharp. Either that or I'm gonna have to rip out one of my teeth again, and I'd rather not have to wait 8 months for it to grow back.
Oof.
I'll, keep it
I've-
in mind.
That kind of it brings up something that I haven't actually thought about up until now. Is that I have a set myself.
You do, Mordecai, and that's because you limit yourself. You don't think about your situation outside of lamenting it. But you have so many advantages in this situation that you just refuse
Yeah.
to acknowledge.
On that one, she's more right than I'm comfortable with.
I don't exactly have like the best words to say. I mean, I don't know. I'm not diplomatic.
And that's why I'm here.
I'm awkward at the best of times.
Again,
exactly-
that's why I'm here.
How I manage to actually perform when it's time to do so, I have no idea.
Well, performance anxiety gets the most of man.
That wasn't what I meant.
I know what you meant, but you're missing the point.
I'm entertained by that quip, but
Now, I'm going to end up making it particularly quick, and just allow me to express something to you. Right now, when in the air, there is a minimal amount of individuals, and really only 3 we need to worry about.
it's true.
Now, when we're on the ground, that's a different story. And more importantly, we want to end up continuing on, then I would suggest we at least figure out what we're dealing with. And if that means you need to get this thing outside of my neck, I'm all the happier for it. I don't need further passengers. Now, outside of that, if I happen to get my hands on something sharp, thank you very much, Muffin Top, then fantastic. Your opportunity has presented itself.
Then that's our go.
Right. But I mean, she is right. If it's anyone who's going to have that immunity removed from them, it should be the person who knows the least.
If that was the case, honey, you'd be under the knife first.
I mean about the situation, so.
I know what you meant.
Not to mention, we need to get hold of our wizard friend
Yeah.
at some point.
Or procure a new one. She
Well-
looks to where the surgeon was.
The caster, yeah.
Well, I was meaning in the form of a blonde-haired one, because asking him some questions might be in it. Might be in the
She starts licking her fangs.
I knew you were worried about him.
Honey, you don't have the faintest idea on what I think of.
I can venture a guess.
Please do.
I mean, based on some of the interactions that you had with him, then you have a keen interest. How far that goes, I don't know. But I would imagine that his well-being is on your mind.
Not in the slightest.
One of the crew,
That surprises me.
one of the crew presents himself on the deck very loudly by kind of snapping to attention with a nice, like a crisp, like a boot clamp onto the wooden deck. Excuse me. We are going to be descending shortly. If you require to hold on to the whale wings, please do so. Or otherwise, please take a seat.
It's like, right, well, we're landing.
Well, I'm gonna enjoy myself with the power of the ship. Don't want to miss a thing.
Okay.
Oh, this is gonna be very interesting.
You
And
get to show off those skills finally.
the ship begins a slow descent down to the desert sands, where apparently there's going to be a surgery performed. And with this, we're going to snap back over to Mesomasca and Lake Right Eye, and as we have about 15-ish minutes left before we're going to wrap up here. Let's go.
I mean, we don't need to, because I don't actually have a nerd stream, so we've got all the time in the world. We've got as much time as you guys want to spend.
Oh, you don't have a nerd stream tonight, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, still, I will snap back to them because it's been a little while.
Yep.
And then we'll play it depending on. I mean, if you all let me know if you want to go longer, then we can.
All right.
Maybe not like terribly. I'm not looking at doing like a marathon tonight until the sun comes up. Although I'm having a ton of fun with you. And the sessions, the marathon sessions that I have had, where you look outside the window and you say, "Wait, the sun's back up."
Oh no.
My longest
I've done
marathon
that.
session was a 19-hour session.
Ooh, wow, nice.
The longest I've gone is 7 hours.
Very venerable.
Yeah.
let's so we're gonna snap back here, and so let's go to Norallie, since we have a little bit of a time difference between her and Bright. Bright has already gone to the Tumbled Wench in order to stay on with a promissory note from the magic item seller, and so we sort of left off with Norallie. Oh, hang on. Okay. Well then, so yeah, just you all can let me know how much longer that you'd like to go then, because yes, that's true. We will be down. We will be down a player next week, so we can resolve some things, I suppose. If you want to go an extra hour and it's unanimous, then we can do that. So Norallie, we had a bit of a fade to black. Wasn't necessarily anything terribly, well, I mean, to you, poor innocent Norallie here. You're just like, oh yeah, we're not cops. You should totally step into the room and let's talk. So upon entering, we can actually have a bit of a time skip here, because they are not going to, shank you for a kidney, and they're not even doing anything to necessarily come off as like overtly creepy either. But we can have a conversation. Perhaps we can have a back and forth with like a question and an answer, from you to me, from me to you, or through these NPCs to you. Mm-hmm. So as you're spending time with these people until you realize that, look at that, the sun's getting a little low in the sky, I should probably go find my friend, and we'll see if we can get to that point, depending on what happens or what you say. You are sitting in a room with your wolf and 4 people with odd accents. Would you like to ask them a question as we have this back and forth?
I mean, they can start off because they're the ones who want to talk.
Sure. Where did you find this dog? One of them asks you.
Oh, he's a magic dog. He's usually this little like the stone statue thingy. But my friend Bright, you guys don't know Bright, but my friend, she told me that I can turn him into a dog, a real dog. So I was like, okay, I'll do that. But she said it only lasts a little bit, so I was waiting, and then I decided, dogs have good sense of smell, so I can just use him to find Bright. But Bright kind of flew away, so he had trouble finding her.
Ah, Bright is a magician.
Yes.
Oh. A magician like you? Tiefling?
No, Bright's a gnome.
A gnome?
Forest gnome.
Even rarer. We are only aware that some cousins of theirs live in Aswandia.
No, she's from that's the country.
They kind of look around at each other, and one of them says, "Yeah, Uct is a place." I'm like, oh, okay. And so then they all nod to you. Ah, Uct. It would be fascinating to meet this friend of yours.
Say again?
It would be fascinating to meet this friend of yours.
Yeah, she's really nice. I mean, I didn't think she was so nice at first because she kind of hurt one of my pets, but, she apologized and my pet's okay. And, she started getting nicer, so we're good now. We're friends now.
Do either of you perhaps... how do I... They kind of look back and forth. How do we ask this? Are your parents important people?
I can't really talk about my parents.
Why is that? Nor why?
Well, my brother told me I really shouldn't talk about them, so I can't.
Oh, your brother. Is he here too?
No, we were trying to find him. He might be all the way back in Mask of Horns by now, and just kind of disappointing because he's gonna be there and I'm not gonna be there, and I could have just waited, and then he's gonna tell me I should have just waited, and it's gonna be a whole thing, and then I'll probably get grounded.
And one of the other people says, "Oh yes, I miss my siblings as well. It's tough to be
Yeah.
away from home for too long."
Yeah, it is.
Can you tell us whereabouts you were when you found this statue?
We were on a river, and my
Mhm.
friend, well, he's more of an acquaintance. We had this friend, um, he's a Minotaur, and his name was DJ, and he played music, and I think I've already said this.
They're looking back and forth at each other. Ah, but we didn't know about this. What did you call it? A minotaur?
Yes, he kind of has cow face, um, but not in a rude way. Like his head actually looked like a cow head, and he had horns, and he played music.
Fascinating.
Yeah,
This
he's
minotaur, is he here as well?
No, we kind of separated. Um, I don't remember what way he was going. He didn't cross the river, and we did cross the river.
And this river was in Uct, you said, right?
No, that was in Mesomasca. Bright is from Uct, but the river was not in Uct. I have not been to Uct.
Ah, Norallie, I believe you, and I think my friends here believe you as well. I know that you've been answering some questions that may have seemed a little repetitive, but it seems that you've been pretty honest with us.
Yeah, I'm pretty honest. I don't really lie. But,
Question? Are you open for another one? I know we have so many.
yeah, you can ask me more questions. That's fine.
But first question, not related. Do you need a snack or a drink?
You know what? Yeah, it's been, I haven't eaten in a while. A little snack would be fine.
Someone leaves and is gonna be gone. Is gonna come back with like some bread and cheese and a water for you.
Ah, that's
Oh.
nice.
Now, Norway, you see this dog is very important to us, for it's a good friend to a lot of us, and I was wondering, was there perhaps other things that was with this dog?
Yeah, because DJ had it and he had a lot of things and he gave us a few of them. Um, like our friend Selene has a sword and I think we got crowns. I can't wear crowns though because my horns. Um, so I didn't get one of those, but I liked the doggy because it was cute and it was really cool that it could turn into a real doggy.
They're looking amongst each other as you're saying this. So you don't know perhaps where this stuff came from, but this DJ Minotaur does.
No, I don't think he knew. He didn't really know. He just said he found them.
Mm-hmm. Fascinating. You are truly a blessed child. I don't suppose that we would be able to perhaps interest you in, and at that your doggo friend growls, "No, I'll stay with her." And the others look at it, and it looks at them, kind of gives a rrr. And they say, "Oh, well, sorry. Apparently that was not a good question to ask you, Norway."
Oh, it's okay.
You don't perhaps know where these other people are, like this Selene, or do you know where the clowns? You had clowns, you said, yes?
I don't remember if the crowns are in our inventory or Mordecai's.
Coffee said we had them, but I didn't know that we had them. I thought Coffee had them, or I thought Mordecai
I
had
didn't
them.
write them. I didn't write them down.
Jade had one.
They were intended to be in the party inventory.
I didn't write them down. So I
Well,
figured that people kept them on them.
if you ever find your friends again and those crowns, we would be very, very happy to take those off your hands. We're collectors, you see.
Well, you'd probably have to ask them because I chose the doggy and they all chose their own things, so might have to ask them. They might give it to you for some money because we're kind of short on money sometimes, especially now, because Mordecai had all the money, and I don't know why he didn't like separate it, or like put it with our all our stuff. But we have no money because he disappeared.
Ah,
Yeah,
Mordecai,
it's kind
a
of upsetting.
very bold tiefling name. He sounds like an
Yeah.
upstanding guy already.
Yeah, he disappeared. We don't know what happened to him. I hope he's not dead.
Well, maybe we can help you find him. You see, we have friends all over. And if it means helping out a nice little girl like you, then we'd be happy to do so. Especially one that has helped us. You see, this doggy here is very important to us. And we want to
Yeah, he
offer
is.
a reward to those who help us.
Well, a reward might be nice. But well, if you have friends in like Mask of Horns, we could talk to them there because we weren't gonna stick around very long. We wanted to go find my brother, and Bright had a way to try to contact Mordecai and the others, and hopefully they're not dead. But yeah.
Hopefully so. There's a lot of death going around right now, and it would be a real shame to have very important people like you also die.
Yeah, that wouldn't be nice. That'd be bad.
Norallie, and they're gonna offer you they're gonna offer you some cookies. Norallie, of the friends that you have, are there others who have powers like you? You seem to be able to be a very unique girl with magic.
Oh yeah, I can do magics. I was taught by Mr. Halver, and but my brother wasn't too good at it. But he got mad and he went off to learn magic by himself. But other people learn magic, so and some of my friends know magic. Most of them know magic, actually. Well, one of them is dead, so I don't think she can do magic anymore. But Mordecai could do magic if he's not dead, and Selene could do magic if she's not dead, and Bright can do magic. She's not dead, because I saw her today, so I know she's not.
That's very good to know, and I appreciate you letting me know about your gifts and the gifts of your friends.
Yeah.
Please help yourself to the cookies.
No, cookies are great.
These are these are a specialty, family recipe at that. And
That's nice.
they're pretty decent cookies. Interestingly enough, this might be the first time you've ever had like ginger cookies. So it kind of plays it tickles your tongue, but not in the same way that the gnomish cuisine did.
It's good. I haven't had cookies like that before.
Well, my dear friend, I appreciate all the things that you have told us, and I am very happy to let our friend Fenri is what you call him? Fenri?
Yeah.
Fenri
Yeah.
can go with you, and we have a boat to catch. We are, you see, we travel frequently, and we have a lot of very heavy boxes to load up onto a boat.
Yeah, we're probably gonna take a boat. Probably not today, cause we were talking to the magic shop guy who offered us some stuff. So we're probably gonna wait until we get all that, and then we'll get on a boat.
Mm-hmm. I wish you the best of luck as you continue. And I do believe that you have been very open with us, Norallie. Let me see here. 1 second. I gotta look up one thing on my other page here. Norallie, would you please make me a wisdom saving throw?
Oh no.
All right, so with a 4 or a 5, I think we're going to take that 4. As you have been speaking, perhaps a part of, not just the cookies are good or the fact that these seem like very friendly people, but just all these thoughts are just bubbling up in your mind. And just it's like it's tapping into a wellspring of ideas and descriptions. They ask about Bright, and just you swear that what Bright looks like just boop pops into your head, and there she is. I mean, look at her. She's smiling. She has this pink hair and everything. Like how can you miss a face like this? And you're talking about your other friends, and it's just like they're there, like they're just right in the front of your brain. And even Jade, you may not have had the best relationship with Jade, but even as you kind of even reference her, just this image of Jade kind of pops into the front of your brain. And they thank you for your time, and tell you that it has been a pleasure. You can keep this cheesecloth that has 6 special ginger cookies in it. And for your time and trouble, they even tell you to go buy yourself something nice, and they'll give you 2 gold pieces.
Oh, that's so nice.
We do right by those who do right by us. Now, if you please, we have some work to do. As soon as our friend Ides comes back, he's been out and about for a while.
Oh, I heard that name when I was sneaking in. I mean, when I was let in.
Yes, Ides is a bit of a special friend to us. Anyway, he's our concern and not yours. Why don't you go buy yourself a toy? You did a very good thing today by letting us see our friend, and I think that he's going to keep you in very, very safe, not hands. Pause.
So I guess I'm gonna head out then.
Yep. So a couple hours have passed. We're almost caught up to Bright time. But you have 2 gold pieces, and you have your doggo following you, or I mean your wolf, but your doggo following you around. It's still getting looks, but the dog seems to be rather content. It has a full belly. What would you like to do for this sort of meta time that we're discussing?
I could go buy something with my 2 gold. I don't know what I want though.
Okay, well, we don't need to necessarily get into the details. If there's a toy or some clothing, perhaps, you have 2 gold pieces. So the world is your oyster.
Yeah, I guess we'll say that I stopped at a store and I'll look through the PHB and see what I want.
In fact, there's even kind of a little urchin pushing a cart down the docks, yelling out, speaking of world is your oyster, oysters, clams, and cockles! Oysters, clams, and cockles! Pardon me, ma'am, would you like an oyster? Poor girl, she looks blind. So she probably sells shellfish to try and get some money for a medication or something.
No,
Would you like
I'm
to
not
buy
taking
something from
food.
this human girl?
No, I should save this for something I really need, and I don't need food at the moment. I just ate.
All right, ma'am. Thank you. And she just goes on, continuing to call out that she is selling shellfish. All right, so you're gonna spend some time eventually. I mean, what you buy, we could work it out on the side or whatnot. But you're gonna wait for Bright at the Tumbled Wench.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, because Bright, you had your stakeout, and lo and behold, there is a Tumbled Wench inside of Lake Right Eye. And there is, let's see, you have your dog for 6 hours or 8 hours?
6.
6? All right. So by the time Bright is rolling up, Fenri would have told you that he's starting to feel kind of a little stiff again, and he's not sure. He's not sure if he's going to be able to hold this form for too much longer. But you know, you two are sitting outside the Tumbled Wench. People have been coming and going. Fairly nice day. I mean, you've heard people fight. You've heard people laugh. You've probably heard more than a couple curse words, or you know, people referring to things that are beyond your years, make you blush a little deeper violet or whatnot. Especially in the direction of the pillow house. And here comes Bright.
Hi, Bright.
Hey, well, I had a pretty interesting day. What about you? Did you save the girl? Did you save the woman? Did you?
Well, I called the doctor, and he well, she stood up, so I think she's okay.
Yeah,
The
but
doctor took her.
she's gonna be a vampire though. So did you
Yeah.
did you find her some nice non-human blood?
No, cause the doctor took her away, and then I thought I'd find you, so I summoned Fenri. This is Fenri, by the way, and I just pet him.
I bet he's a rock though.
No, he's
I
he's
mean,
getting.
he's just a statue, just like always.
Oh, he turned back.
Yeah.
Well, no, he was a real dog for a while, and I had him
Sorry, I
sniff
missed
you
it.
out. Yeah, I had him sniff you out, but he had trouble sniffing you out because you flew. So he got a little lost, and then he got hungry and he ran to this house, and I didn't open the door for him. No one said that. And he went in, and he didn't come back out for a while, so I went in, and there's people there, and they talked funny. But
I mean,
I guess that everyone
like-
the dog talked funny too, so it was okay. But,
They all
and
talk funny.
yeah,
How do you mean, like funny like a clown, or funny haha, or
they didn't say their R's and L's really. They said it like
oh,
wah.
well,
So,
oh
like,
no.
they
So
can't
Wow.
so
like,
those are bad
oh,
people
what?
then. So
No, they
everybody
weren't.
who talks like that has been bad.
No.
I
My
mean,
dog
most of
talks
them are
like that.
vampires. Oh, he does?
Yeah, he talks like
Oh,
that. He talked with them for a long time, so like that's why he took so long, and that's why we didn't go find you. So I just went and I talked with them, and they got me some food, and it was really nice. Oh, and they gave me some gold, so I went and bought something, and they gave me some cookies, and the cookies are really nice actually.
what did they? Why did who did you talk to? Did they bite you?
No, they didn't
Because
bite
if they
me.
bit you, that's really bad.
No, I wouldn't let people bite me.
Okay. But what did you talk about?
Oh, well, we talked about Fenri mostly, and like who we got him from, and DJ, because we got him from DJ, and I told him that DJ didn't really know where he got him from, because that's what he told us. And then we talked just about Mazamaska a little, and they didn't know where Uct is, and I don't know where Uct is either, but we mentioned Uct
Yeah,
because they were
it's-
asking about you.
Oh, why? Oh, well, that's
Well, I
nice.
kinda
I
mentioned
mean,
it, so they
Uct is
asked.
really nice. It's a lot of people haven't been there. It's pretty far. So usually you would only go there if you like had a reason to. So that's okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So what? I mean, it's so nice of you to talk about me. Well, I mean, did you say nice things?
Yeah. I told them how, like, well, like when we met, I didn't think you were really nice because you heard Yori, but you apologized and we started becoming friends, and you're really nice now.
Yeah, it's true. Okay. Well, that's nice. So, um, I mean, it's weird to talk to people so much, but I mean, I guess you can make friends in a town. So, but they talk funny. So that's kind of upsetting to me. Um, that's kind of upsetting. So, um, plans to meet them again tomorrow?
No, they said they were getting on a boat and they had to, put some crates on the boat and then go. I didn't ask which boat because really it's not really much of my business. But I told them that we were gonna go on a boat in a few days because we're going to Mask of Horns.
Why did you tell them where we're going?
Um, because they asked about my family, and I told them that my brother's in Mask of Horns, or that's where he should be, and hopefully he's still there when we get there, and hopefully he doesn't ground me.
Okay, wait. So we spent like a month trying to get you to tell us anything at all about your brother, and then these people you just told them everything on the very first day?
Well, I didn't tell them like his name or like things he does because he doesn't do things. Don't I didn't say he does things. Okay, but like I just told him that that's where we're going, and when you guys ask questions, you don't like ask the right questions because you guys ask about my family, and I can't talk about my family, and I've told you that.
Okay. Did you tell them we're staying here?
No, they didn't ask about that.
Sure. Okay. Okay. So did you get any of their names?
No.
I mean, I met some people today. I met
There was one.
Four Finger Peter, and then I met another guy named Ides, or at least I heard about a guy named Ides.
I heard about a guy named Ides.
Oh, how did you hear about a guy named Ides?
Well, I used magic to knock on the door because the door was locked, so I couldn't open it. And a guy came out and he was like, Ides. He was like, Ides. Well, is that you? Or are you just playing tricks? And then I snuck in. And then they mentioned Ides
plays a lot of tricks.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, this is not so Ides is bad. So Ides is bad. Ides is probably in the Thieves Guild. Okay. So if you were talking to Ides,
Guild of Thieves.
Yeah, that's so they're bad and they're thieves because they're bad, or maybe they're bad because they're thieves. I'm not really sure. But yeah, so it's a bunch of thieves and they all get together and they cooperate. So when they steal things, they all work together. And sometimes, like if somebody gets in trouble, they'll help each other out. But when they help each other out, it's actually, it's kind of a lot like when we help each other out, which is to say that we kill all the people that are after us, and that's what they do too. So if you don't want them to kill us,
Oh wow.
Norallie, I would like to present you the golden shovel.
Okay, so, did you, and you told them we're going horns? No.
Say that again?
And you told them we're going to Mask of Horns?
Yeah, but, Mask of Horns is a big city, and they're leaving before us, so they probably won't see us.
Yeah, we don't know that. And, You said they were going on a boat, and we were going to be going on a boat, which
Yeah, but
means
there's a
now
lot
we
of
can't
boats.
go on a boat. Now we have to walk.
No, I mean, there's so many boats. Why wouldn't we take a boat?
Oh. Okay. Um. So I think. I mean, I have business with the wizards tomorrow, and I have to get my things, or we won't be able to find Mordecai and Selene.
Yeah.
And yeah. But we also. I mean, so the vampires and the thieves. So okay. So what I found today, it was really kind of interesting. Um. Uh. But oh, now everything is wrong. So we went to the I found the vampire and I followed him to a warehouse, but he got away. I wasn't
Oh.
fast enough. I got lost on the way and I had asked for directions. So he got to the
I
warehouse
see.
before I did. But yeah. So I talked my way into the warehouse. That was kind of fun. I got to use some disguises and things. It was fun. But
Oh,
I
I
went
like
in and
disguises.
find him right away. But I found where he was staying. He has a little box. He sleeps in a box. It's kind of, I mean, it's kind of cozy. I could sleep in a place like that, but um, I know it was the vampire place because there was blood all over it, and so I stole a couple of things from it, so that's good. But then the people in the warehouse know what's going on because I talked to one of the workers there and I showed him the box and it seemed like he didn't know about it. It seemed like he was kind of cranky. So I think maybe not everyone in the warehouse is a vampire, or maybe not everyone in the warehouse is in the Thieves Guild. But the thing is, like the longshoremen, lots of times that's where thieves are because with all the stuff coming in and out, it's a really good opportunity for them to steal things from it. So some of them probably are, and I'm pretty sure that this Ides guy is, but not everyone. And they're not all vampires in the warehouse, and many of them didn't even talk funny. So that was good. But
Yeah.
I have to. Oh, I think we should be ready to leave fast. I think we need a go bag. Do you have a go bag?
Um, we usually just put things on Brayson and he can carry everything. So
Yeah.
Yeah, do you have a go
Okay.
donkey?
A go donkey. I think we should. I mean, they're not going to be after Brayson, but they are probably going to be checking in on us. I mean, they might sneak in through the window just to see where we are. I don't know. I mean,
why would they do that?
because, I mean, if they know.
Right, I think you're assuming a lot. They were just some nice people who gave me some cookies and asked some questions.
They gave you cookies. Why did you take cookies from them?
Because
Didn't anyone ever teach you not to take cookies from strangers? That's like the first thing you learned in kid school.
I didn't go to kids school.
Oh, you should have.
It's too expensive to go to kids school. Okay.
Okay, so
right.
Okay, so I would like to. Why don't we go up to our room? I have a bunch of magic to do.
Okay.
Okay. So
You
the
want a
first thing.
cookie?
I really, really don't. So the first thing I want to cast is detect magic.
Okay.
Oh, right.
It's bigger.
It has to be a ritual. I don't have it prepared.
Okay. So you cast detect magic, and you notice that somewhat close by is a little floating ball of divination magic.
Oh no. Well, that's interesting.
You can't see it otherwise.
Yeah. Huh. In our room.
Yes.
Oh, this is the worst of all. Okay, I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm wondering. So, okay, I want to ask you if I can do this, okay? Because it's probably a DM's discretion kind of thing. I want to see if I can use identify to identify the divination ball. And it's kind of ambiguous because it's not technically an object, and it might be hard for me to touch it the whole time, but maybe?
I'll tell you what, even instead of that, why don't you make an Arcana at advantage?
Okay, I can do that. 25.
Phew. Almost another 20 there. All right. So as you've detected this thing, and the fact that it was able to manifest here, you're definitely getting a divination sense. I mean, because that's, divination.
Yeah.
Whether it's,
Yeah, I get that.
what you like, it was your bread and butter for at least for a good long while here.
Mhm.
And more specifically, this seems to be manifesting in a way similar to your own arcane eye.
Okay, so it's an arcane eye, because it could also be clairvoyance, and I know Jade casts clairvoyance sometimes, so maybe I can tell the difference between those two?
Yes, with that...
Arcane eye is technically smaller, like the arcane eye is actually
Yes.
just an inch, and the clairvoyance is like a bigger blob.
Yeah, so this would be an arcane eye. It's a little glowing blob of divination magic.
Okay, so, Norallie, wait, so the thing I wanted to actually look for, so this is bad news. There's always so much bad news. I hate bad news. It's the worst kind of news. So I was actually more curious about the cookies. That's what kind of prompted this, but, yeah.
The cookies do not glow magical, but they do smell really nice.
Okay. Yeah, they don't smell very nice to me right now.
Oh, you don't like ginger?
I mean, normally it's okay, but right now I don't want. Okay, so I'm gonna, I'll just say to Norallie, and I'll turn so that my back is to the arcane eye when I say this, and I'm gonna say, so anything, but people are watching us right now. So I'm gonna leave the room just to see what happens, and I'll be right back, and then I'll do that.
Okay. I don't see anyone, but okay.
Then I'll do that.
Okay.
I follows me, or Fritz stays in the room.
Yeah, Norallie, man, something's Bright's being kind of weird. But yeah, so you're in there. You're looking around. There's a nice painting of I don't know. It's a nice painting of a fisherman holding up a nice fish, and the fisherman has a very proud look.
That fish eye. It kind of looks like it follows you.
And-
But fish don't move their eyes.
And so that, yeah, there you go. Like, well, maybe she just thought it was like this big fish eye, because I think this is a big lunker that this fisherman's holding up all proud, and it is kind of a prominent piece that fish's eye draws you in. Kind of like wiggle back and forth a little bit, and you're like, I don't know. Now, for you, Bright, though, the arcane eye does not seem to follow you.
Okay, so I am going to, I am going to use the minor illusion to project my voice into the room,
Okay.
without going in myself, and it's going to say, Norallie, could you come out into the hallway for just a minute?
Okay. And I will come out into the hallway.
Okay.
Do you have an eye?
Yes.
I don't mean like her regular eyes. I mean, does she have an arcane eye?
Yes, that too. She has a third eye that's not her own.
Okay, and not like the Wild Surge kind of third eye that's fun. She has
Yeah,
this
that's
other kind
the
of
one
eye.
that you had even.
Okay, so so I'm going to use another minor illusion so that I can, because minor illusion doesn't even have a verbal component. It's so nice. So I'm going to use another minor illusion so that I don't have to move my lips, and I'm going to say, they have a spell that watches everything you do.
Oh.
It had a third eye too. Lots of us have had third eyes from time to time.
It only happened once. It was kind of weird.
So I just wanted you to know that. So yeah, we're pretty hosed. So I think we need to. I don't even know what to do. I don't even know what to do. Because I mean you're in danger, and I want to protect you. But when we're together, I'm in danger too. How much magic did you use today?
Not too. I'm not. Well, let's see. I ran after Fenri, and that spell kind of tiring. But I only did that once. I turned invisible a few times. Um, I did a lot of the easy spells, the ones where it's really quick and you just do it,
Yeah.
and it doesn't take a lot of energy. And I did that a little bit.
Okay.
Not too much.
Okay, so your big spells still work. That's good. We might need them. Because we're in danger right now. So I used about half of my spells, so could be better, but could be worse. Did those already. I've done enough breathing for today. I can't breathe anymore. Or I mean, I still breathe, but it doesn't do me any good. Good, but it doesn't help my magic.
Okay.
Okay,
I mean,
so
I can still do my breathing exercise.
okay, yeah, that's fine. Help. We're hosed. Do you have? I think we need to go out and check on Brayson. Let's go out into the stable.
Yeah, we can do that.
I'm gonna have to ask you to stay behind this time, because if you go out to the stable, they'll know where like which donkey is ours, and they'll come in and I mean then they'll know that. I don't want them to know anything they don't already know.
Mm-hmm.
They know too much. So let me just go outside to the stable and check on him real quick.
Okay, well,
be right back.
He's been brushed.
Okay, I'll make sure that he's been brushed, and that he has fresh water and fresh oats.
Yeah, I'll just stay up here with Yori and Herbert and Fenri, even though Fenri's a statue now, so he's not very fun to pet.
It's okay. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'll go do those things. I want to check on Brayson.
All right. So, Bright goes to check on Brayson. Norallie, you're left with the remainder of your cookies, and well, you're not left with a panicked gnome. She's already kind of teetered off. Any Norallie, then any other thoughts as this is occurring?
No, she's just gonna stay in her room. Pet Herbert. Maybe put Herbert up to the painting to make sure the painting's not looking at them.
Herbert does not. Yeah, so you scan the room with Herbert. Seems to be kind of standard operating procedure now. And Herbert does not react to anything in the room. I mean, you know that he gets irritated and itchy when Bright's around, but she's not here, so there's nothing.
I don't know what she's talking about. Henry would have eaten something if it was or not Henry, Herbert.
Yeah, Herbert's giving you the all clean. All right, so what I'll do here, you go and check Bright. Brayson is still alive and exactly where you left him, in the stable, and the stable hand says, "Oh, do you need anything special? What's going on?"
I just wanted to check on our donkey, make sure that he's been properly cared for, and that he's been brushed and has fresh oats and fresh water.
Yeah, got a good pile of fur off of him. You really needed it. This you must be losing fur for the spring.
Yeah, we haven't really had time to take proper care of him. We've been traveling pretty hard. But thank you so much. And here, have a silver piece.
Oh, well, thank you.
And that's all. So we might be leaving pretty quick, so we might be coming down here to get him.
Oh, sure, yeah. I'll, my shift is about over. It's getting pretty late here for the day, and I'll make sure to let the night guy know that you might need to load up on the old donkey here. Kind of just slaps it and not hard.
His name isn't named Ides, are you?
No, I can't
Okay.
say so.
That's good. That's all. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'll make sure your donkey's in ship shape to go whenever you need to.
Thank you. Okay, so I'll go back in. So he's doing fine. He's properly brushed. He looks very nice, and I checked. He has fresh water and oats, so he's in good shape. So can I still see the arcane eye?
The arcane eye is gone.
Oh, okay. That's almost worse. Okay. 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 So.
Breathe. I know it doesn't do anything, but breathe.
No, it only helps a little. So I'm gonna go over to the front desk, to the innkeeper. Mr. Innkeeper, can I ask you for a small favor?
Yeah, so the tiefling the tiefling kind of bends over the desk and yes, of course, you can ask. What hospitality can the tumbled wench offer you?
We would like to change our room. It's fine, but as you know, as you can tell, I'm a gnome and I'm from Uct, and my people have a lot of funny superstitions.
Mm-hmm.
And the room that we have, it's on the wrong side of the hotel, and it's facing either the morning sun or the evening sun. Which sun is it facing?
Yeah, you're in room whatever. Insert here. Oh yeah, looks like you're on the northern part of the building.
Northern part, yeah. So, I guess it's not facing either the morning or the evening sun. So we have a superstition that our rooms always need to face either the morning sun or the evening sun, and it doesn't. So we would like to just have a different room that's maybe on a different side of the building is all. I know it's super weird, but that's just how sometimes we are.
Well, I suppose. I mean, the note speaks for you. But that was really the only other room that I had. I could try talking to one of the other guests and see if they're willing to swap.
Let's see.
I want to try and be accommodating. We are a forward-thinking port town after all. We have a lot of different people coming through.
So I'll just put a silver piece on the countertop, and I'll say, I mean, if there's any other room that you might have, we would really appreciate that.
He looks at the silver piece, looks at you. Picks it up, pockets it, smiles. I'll do the best that I can, and I'll see. Otherwise, well, I might be able to find you accommodation elsewhere, in case that we're not able to offer it. I won't have the same hospitality, but, the shopkeep's word is good with me. My word is good with a couple other people I know that own various establishments here in Lake Eye, and I'll see what I can do.
So wonderful. You've just been so wonderful and helpful. And if there's anything I can do around here to help, I would be happy to do it.
I just need you to relax and have a good time. That's what the Tumbled Wench is all about. We should have some music playing later this evening. We have good food, a good crowd, and there's almost never a fight on a nightly basis in our bar area.
I'm so happy to hear that. This might be the night that your streak is broken. I studied divination in wizard school, so I just have that sense.
He's like you're saying these magical terms. He's kind of looking at you like, well, I hope not. I'm not looking for a fight, but if I gotta keep an extra bouncer around, then I'll do the. I'll keep you safe.
That might be a good idea. Okay. So, I guess I'll just try to stay down in the common room with Norallie and I'm gonna try to keep casting detect magic.
Okay.
From time to time, just in case something else happens.
All right, then. What we'll do is we'll leave you two here in the common room. So sorry, Norallie, this nice room is gonna have to go. So you're there. Bright is kind of fidgeting.
That's okay, the fish picture was getting creepy.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't like that picture either. But I mean, When has there ever been a good picture in a hotel room, really?
And so you two on this evening are going to be spending some time there until hopefully you hear some words otherwise. And so what I'll do is I got to get up and take another short break. We don't need to go a full 10 minutes, but I do need to get up and refresh myself. So why don't we come back and then we will finish out tonight's session back in the desert as we have an apparent ? Surgery to perform or something else because who knows what that crew's up to. But we'll do that and then we'll have it. We'll call it a Tuesday, technically a Wednesday. So 5 minutes, everyone, and we'll be back.